My first guest today on the YouTube channel for my first episode is none other than Todd Kerns. All right, Todd.
I love the none other. there could be another Todd Kerns. We don't know that.
You know, we all have these stories, and what this kind of reminds me about is, so I've been researching these Seattle bands, and primarily this band called Creddy Pool.
It's like talking about Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster when you bring it up in terms of like, when you meet somebody. Because I have the same conversations about people who saw Jeff Buckley before he died, or any of those kind of things that were kind of, oh, you were there, kind of thing. A lot of those Creddy Pool things existed in cassette tapes with no song titles on the thing. Like, here, listen to this. You don't even know what, and you're like, what the hell is this? This is amazing. And then eventually, of course, it's on CDs.
What I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that that Punchy, the guitar player from Creddy Pool, he was pretty tight with Duff. I mean, obviously being a Seattle band.
Right, yeah.
And I know that Duff was heavily involved in, punk rock and, more of the grungier type sound before, hooking up with Guns N' Roses. So I heard that Punchy, the guitar player from Creddy Pool, and Duff, loaded up the truck and, moved to Beverly.
They literally moved to Beverly, yeah.
I think Punchy was, he was enrolled in
MIT or
I think
whatever,
he went to
GIT
MIT
or one of those
things.
things.
Yeah. So he went down to do that, but I don't know. I heard that it didn't work out for him. Like, I'm not sure why, really. He didn't fit into the LA scene. It just
right.
And I heard that once things started taking off, that he packed his bags and he got an offer to go back and jump into this project that was part of that grunge scene, which his buddies in Seattle said this is the place you got to be.
And even the things that they were in prior to that, especially Punchy's earlier punk rock stuff. Like bands like Personality Crisis from Winnipeg and all that kind of stuff. Those guys seem to cross paths with that whole scene a lot more. Because when Duff talks about going into Vancouver at 14 years old and playing like the Smiling Buddha and all that kind of stuff, that's the kind of stuff those guys were doing. The only connection I have is a bizarre. It feels like when you talk about the Loch Ness Monster, you see those, or that Bigfoot photo, this thing, and it's like is a random photo of Punchy at. I want to say people been at the time, the girl I was seeing at the time who has the photo was like, I think it's from the Roxy or I think it's from the Whiskey, but it might be from Madam Wong's. Or
hey, what's the chance that you could send me that picture of Punchy? Because I'd love to be able to put it on the website.
I randomly spoke to her the other day, and I will chase that down because she, it's like funny because people like, they carry those things. Anybody who is into rock music, they carry those kind of things with a great deal of pride. It'd be how it's kind of whispered about at the party. That girl has a picture of Punchy on stage, pre-Creddy Pool, and you're like, really?
It's like I've got a picture I've got a picture that no one's ever seen of Sid Vicious.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
I think we'll get to the bottom of this. We're starting to get some.
I'm excited.
Get some actual. Evidence, which is awesome. The photograph you've got is just, one more page out of the book that we can, cross an X and go, okay, there's this,
At the time it was Mother Love Bone, Creddy Pool. Those were the two names that were being, circulated out of Seattle. I wasn't as aware of Malfunction until after the fact, but those two bands, and we all know what happened with Mother Love Bone. They went on to be one of the biggest bands on the planet. So the fact that the other one, I'm like, well, now I need to know.